we have exciting news.
GLC is delighted to share that our 501c3 tax exemption status has been officially reinstated. Your donations are now tax deductible, including those made after 2015. Reach out to us
At the email address or phone on your screen.
for more info on receiving a receipt letter. Join us in making a positive impact on the kingdom of God. Consider contributing a tax-deductible gift today at www.glctv.tv. Every amount counts.
GLC is so excited to announce our new line of apparel and merchandise available through the GLC Bookstore website or through the videos directly on our YouTube channel. Browse this exclusive collection of apparel, magnets, mugs, and more, where Hebraic expression meets contemporary design. New designs are added regularly, so be sure to check back for new selections that will express your faith to those around you. Visit the GLC Bookstore online and explore our diverse range of merchandise and apparel, or watch our wide selection of programs on our YouTube channel for direct links to our new store. And best of all, visit glc.us.com/shop for links to all of our online stores today.
Hi friends, we at GLC would like to take a quick moment to thank you for watching our programs on this platform, and we'd like to ask you for a little favor. Would you please go beneath this video and click the subscribe button? Did you know that by simply subscribing to the GLC YouTube channel, you can help us financially support the programs on this platform? You'll need to be signed into YouTube beforehand, but if not, simply click the subscribe button and YouTube will automatically walk you through the steps to sign in or to create an account. By taking these simple steps, you will not only ensure that you continue to receive our unique programming and gain instant access to the hundreds of videos we post, but more importantly, you'll also be telling YouTube that GLC's content is worth watching and promoting. Likewise, if you enjoyed a specific program, please click the thumbs up button below, which also helps inform YouTube that this is a program worth recommending. Finally, once you have logged in and subscribed, please click the notification bell below in order to receive announcements when we post new content. As usual, feel free to post your questions and comments in the comments section below. We always love hearing from our friends and viewers. Again, thank you for watching and supporting God's Learning Channel. We couldn't spread the message of the gospel without you. Be blessed, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hey folks, today's guest, he's an amazing man, successful businessman, father, husband, but he is also the new mayor of Amarillo, Texas, with a vision to give a voice back to the people. And I've seen this guy in private and in public. He's the same man, a great leader in my book, and you're going to love him, I believe, too. Mayor Cole Stanley. How you doing there, Mayor?
Well, doing really good, Brent. Thank you for having me this morning.
Well, it's an honor to be with you, my man, and so wonderful to see such leadership in Amarillo, Texas. You know, of course, Amarillo, Texas is always booming. It's exploding. It takes someone with good leadership skills to oversee all the facets and yet remain a man of the people. The way that you interact with citizens there, and again, you know, I know that today, you know, you're coming as my friend Cole Stanley. But as the mayor of Amarillo and someone who is a constitutionalist, someone who loves our country and believes in giving a voice back to the people, things are moving and shaking right now. What is the latest in your world?
Well, I appreciate that introduction, and you hit right on. Like, I think we all have our own personal vision statements, and restoring the power to the people through servant leadership. You know, that to me is truly what I look for in a leader. I want to look for the guy that's not about the label, the title, the chair that they sit in. I want to see the guy who's willing to serve, and that servant leadership is who we really want to follow. So I enjoy being in the trenches, and I'm a construction guy, so it's home to me. You know, I like being on the job sites. I like being you know, in the chaos, the controlled chaos. And consequently, that's exactly what I signed myself up for. when I got elected down here. And so it's hand to plow right now. Amarillo is at that tipping point. We're up over 200,000 people in population. And, we'll go to 250,000 people, what will feel like overnight. And so all the good things that come along with that, and then all of the problems that come along with that kind of growth. And so I couldn't be more honored to get to represent some of the best people on the face of God's green earth here in Amarillo. You couldn't build your life on and around a better quality of community. But then outside of that, man, I'm just honored to be able to get this education. Like, you can't learn all the things that I'm learning in a college. You can't get these types of experiences, and it all comes down from just being willing to get your hands dirty and try to help.
And helping is what you're interested in. I mean, right off the bat, even before you were inaugurated, you came to the conclusion that you're not going to play the game in locking down the city. And a lot of people aren't aware, Cole, that, there is a very concentrated war against small business from certain powers that be. And I just admire the fact that you are a people first, a citizen first mayor of Amarillo, but you're also a businessman as well. You know what it's like to operate a business and to, conduct business in a climate that a lot of businesses are nervous about. It's one thing to hold an elected office and to not have boots on the ground experience. But you have that boots on the ground experience, and you are seeing what is on the horizon. And just like you said, with this incredible growth, the benefits of that and the challenges of that. What are some of the latest things already that you've been immersed in that have happened even as recent as yesterday?
Sure. I love the fact that you'll take it back to that critical time of kind of COVID, and when we decided for a brief period of time that we would respond in fear and not faith. We would go ahead and try to hold everybody into what more or less felt like a temporary quarantine that went on for a full year before we really kind of pushed back. And so that was the time in which I was considered essential, as like, well, you can still go to work, but everything was upside down and backwards. And that was really when I said, it's my opportunity to get off the sideline and to go and put myself out there. And that's when I ran the first time. And so I got to serve for 2 years as city councilman. And now I've been in the mayor's office for what is, I think, around 7 months. So it feels more like 7 years, but we're going so fast and dealing with so many things. And one thing that I'm excited about is, the world has it backwards. They think that everything comes from the top down. Right. And so you have your federal government, and they make the rules and they do everything. And then they tell the states what to do. And then the states allow for kind of the common people at the local level to just be tolerated. And there's really not any authority, within your city government, within your county government. And that's backwards. Really everything flows from the bottom up. It's just like construction. You pour that foundation, you put your footings in deep, and you build up on top of that. And so currently, the foundation in this country is really good. We have good, strong local leaders. And we have judges and county commissioners and councilmen and women that put in the hard work, and they're accountable to their everyday citizen because they see them on the job site, they see them at the grocery store, they go to church with them. Then as you go up through the states, I get to live in the best state in the nation. And we prove that out as we are the 8th largest economy in the world. So if Texas was a country, it'd be the 8th most powerful country in the world. And we have the 2nd fastest growing economy in our nation. So wow. That all being said, I have some really good state government that I get to look up to. Senator Kevin Sparks is a friend of mine, and he is just the real deal, genuine and authentic, representing us as a senator down at the state. John Smithy and Ford Price are my House reps here, and they stand for us and what we believe in. And so yesterday at council, just to give you a quick update, we put forward a resolution that more or less just states for the record that we want Texas to know that we support Governor Abbott in Operation Lone Star. That goes right to the border and right to public safety, which public safety is one of our key pillars here.
Well, again, I continue to be impressed with leaders who put the people first. I was a counterterrorism reporter, had a national news show as well. It was very discouraging to find out that so many elected leaders were more concerned about being reelected than they were about the people or their constituents, that they were supposed to be serving. And from the get-go, and even before you were officially mayor, you have demonstrated the caliber of people around you that believe in you, the fact that you really want the people of Amarillo to be safe, to be secure, to be prosperous, and you have a vision beyond Amarillo as well. You're known for your faith, you're known for your strength, and I'm just grateful that you're one of those mayors, Cole, that you're more concerned about helping the people of Amarillo. Incredible people. I've never seen people like the ones in Amarillo. They're not that way in Dallas. Love you, Dallas, but they're not that way in Dallas. West Texas is the closest I've seen, with Midland and Odessa. Wonderful people, but I've never seen such a benevolent-hearted people that take care of each other or want to take care of each other that I have seen in Amarillo. And to see a leader and a mayor that truly is putting the concerns of the people first, while providing some strong leadership, not just a shoe-in, not just a yes man, but making the hard decisions. I'm just grateful for that. And Operation Lone Star, a lot of people don't know what that's about as well.
Yeah, let me expand on that. Let me say I sit on a very strong team. It's never just the mayor's position. The power resides within that council or within that commission at the local level. And I've got 4 other gentlemen that are strong leaders, founded in their principles, and willing to get out and do the work, but also willing to get out there and stand on principle, not on circumstance or popularity.
Right.
And so I love that. And that it gives me the platform to be able to kind of show what a good servant leadership team can do. And we've only been at it for, like I said, 7 months, but what you're seeing down at the state level is something that's gone on for quite some time. We've seen, I want to say the last number I heard was 9.4 million illegal immigrants that have come over across the border. A majority of that's come through Texas. Now, these aren't coming through legal points of entry. These are individuals that are coming across the border illegally. And then the higher numbers that I have heard is, as much as 14 million people that have illegally immigrated into, our sovereign border by the time Biden gets removed from office. And I say that hopefully in the way in which I would love to see a president that is a real person, isn't going to be derelict of his duties. The Biden administration has totally abandoned us. And as the mayor and as a person here in Amarillo, Texas, I see firsthand the consequences when you're talking about fentanyl. Our deaths through fentanyl overdoses have doubled this last year, and they'll probably double again this year. I see the cartels that operate here within our city limits, how they work through local gangs, and then how this open border just gives them an expedited ability to perform organized criminal enterprises.
Right.
And then the human trafficking is probably the saddest part of it, is that these people are truly slaves. And the Biden administration just continues to placate and say that they are doing this somehow for the good of these people and that they care. They honestly do not care. And the boots on the ground see it, and we know it. And we're not buying into any of the lie. And so Operation Lone Star stands for the citizens of Texas.
14 years ago, I traveled the country, major cities, interviewing people who were wearing disguises under death threat from the DNC. Mm-hmm. And the same enemies that we were fighting then, we're fighting now. The Muslim Brotherhood. A lot of people do not realize the illegal immigrants coming through. The majority are not people from Mexico looking for a better life. A lot of money has been spent to propagate that lie. These are people from third world countries, most of which hate us. They chant death to America. There are plenty of weapon caches discovered at the border for decades now. And this is a coordinated, well-funded invasion by an administration that is at war with its own people. Have you ever heard of such a thing? We have all the billions and trillions to send to Ukraine. Crack open the champagne, rife with underage sex parties. It's a big party. But when it comes to securing our own border, this administration is at war with its own people. And folks, it's not a left or right thing. One party is more prevalent than the other, but it's very important that we get behind local government that puts the people first and that protects our rights. And you are one of those leaders, Cole. Circling back to what you said, people do not realize how important local elections are. Oh, I'll just wait for the presidential election. Well, you saw how that went this last time. I go to different parts of the world that they're laughing at us. And they're like, none of us buy this. None of us, we can't believe we're watching you just tolerate this because a lot of those countries have been disarmed. And many do not know or understand that we are fighting a dark enemy. We are fighting an evil enemy. All you have to do is Google the Communist Manifesto, and what do? They crash the system with overspending. They blame capitalism. They instill socialism. They declare a dictator. They disarm the people. Then they massacre the dissenters. But that's not going to happen under the watch of men like you, Cole. That are looking out for the rights, not only of Texans, but for the rights of Americans. And so you better watch who you vote for, folks, on a local level. Mayor Cole Stanley, I'm so grateful that you're not one of those mayors, the typical type of mayor from a certain type of party. Well, let's just let them get their frustration out and burn the city down. And that's not the kind of mayor that you are. You are a true Texan. And,
well, we've got an army behind us. Mm-hmm. And so that's the difference here in Texas. We have strong men and women that believe like I do. They believe in faith, family, and freedom. And so we don't rightly align on every political issue, but when it comes down to the core of you should be able to have your own faith. It is about family, and ultimately you don't get to have either of those without freedom. And so the ability and the right to defend yourself is exactly what's going on down at the border right now when Texas stands up and says, look, we will secure our border if you don't secure it for us, which you've abdicated that responsibility on the federal level. It is now incumbent upon the state to take care of it. You're seeing them do it. And here locally, we're reminding those guys down south that it's not just the mayor, it's not just the council or the judge. It is an army of people, of citizens behind you that we will fight that battle, and the battle is won with words. The battle is won or lost when you decide with your words to say, okay, I give up my rights to defend myself. I give up my rights to bear arms. I give up my rights to organize myself with my local law enforcement. And so the battle is not a battle of let's take to the street and get the torches and the pitchforks.
Right.
It's the battle of now is your time. Now is your time to stand up. Now's your time to put this out, to share this message and messages like this all around. Now's the time to encourage other people. Get off the sidelines. I mean, 3 years ago, I was on the side. There's so many platforms you can get plugged into today's world, and all we've got to do is stand up and be willing to stand out. And the only thing you have to overcome is fear.
Well, and nothing good comes from fear. And a lot of fear has been propagated through our media and through other channels as well. It's a well-funded enterprise. Fear is a commodity to those who wish to do us harm. But you're fearless, and so am I. And so are people who surround you. We love our country. We love our faith and our freedoms. We support the freedoms of others to worship how they want. And in that Constitution exists for a reason. Our founding fathers saw days like these. And of course, it's interesting, Mayor Cole, that, when I go to different parts of the world, A friend from France told me, he said, I always know when someone's from Texas, if an American is from anywhere else than America, they say, I'm from America. But when they're from Texas, they say, I'm from Texas, the good Republic of Texas. And we know that Texas spirit, that can-do spirit, that fearless spirit still exists today, regardless of the efforts of the World Health Organization, which will be a future subject as well. Folks, if you don't think that the enemies of our country want to take away your freedoms in the name of medicine or science, you've got another thing coming. You have a right to know what is happening in this country, in your state, in the world, and with your health. And again, it's wonderful to see true leaders that stand up and that speak the truth, even if it's not popular. Did you ever think, Cole, that there would be a time in America where it was unpopular to want to fly the American flag?
I never thought we would get to the point to where like medical freedom was something that we would debate. Like true informed consent is something that is just the basis of do no harm. And we had so much trust in our medical system and in everything that was the CDC and the way in which even the FDA used to work. And so now what you're seeing is your everyday average American doesn't have that level of trust because we've gotten away from true informed consent, which is the basis and the bedrock of medical freedom. And so, I think if you want to ride that motorcycle without your helmet on, it's up to you. You know the risks, and I think you'd be smart to wear the helmet. But I don't need to put on a helmet and a mask and a flak jacket while I'm driving around in my car because you want to drive your motorcycle, right? Like it's
Well, it says a lot, and of course, your personal views as well. You truly believe in the liberty of citizens. No one can accuse you of being a far this or far that. I believe that you have a balance in your philosophy.
I think we all should have a certain level of libertarian values, especially on our conservative Republican platform, which says, look, I'm like everybody else. I just want to be left alone and I want to live my life. Right. And that's the one thing that kind of keeps me as an elected representative, not government. See, I'm not a government official. Right. I'm an elected representative. And it comes down to the fact that I want the smallest form of government possible to provide core services that our community needs and to provide for public safety. Outside of that, I believe in personal responsibility. And I think that's core to our Texas values. And so you don't need Big Brother constantly telling you how to live your life because he knows better, right? And so whether or not we fly the Texas flag or the American flag or we put it on our lapel, we agree on these values of liberty, I believe. What we don't agree on as a population, and you see this, is in the level of fear which some people will kind of pontificate on in order for you to sacrifice that liberty, for their safety. And this is an old argument, right? If you're willing to sacrifice that, you deserve neither.
Well, all someone needs to do is to read the Communist Manifesto to see what's been propagated for decades now in our country. All you have to do is read Solinsky, often quoted by Hillary Clinton and Obama, heroes. To them. And of course, some of those tactics are to accuse your opponent of what you're actually really doing. Folks, it's not a right or left thing anymore. It's good versus evil. I hear that more and more, even in mainstream media. But there are people that are coming together in this hour, and they stand for the rights of Americans. They stand for the rights of Texans. And here we got, what I know about this man, the spirit of Texas in one man. And that's Mayor Cole Stanley. I'm proud to call you a friend. I'm happy that you're the mayor. Kind of wish you were running for president as well. But folks, it's important that we come together and we lock shields in this hour, because the time is over. Did you ever think you'd see a time when non-elected officials would be controlling your freedoms. And the World Economic Forum that is over the World Health Organization and the CCP that has come out, hey, by the way, we lied. 94% of deaths were not the pandemic or the plandemic, right? And even the highest paid government official, Dr. Fauci. Did you know that, folks? Oh, well, we didn't tell you that you had to do this or that or wear this or that, or it wasn't effective anyway. Well, you know what? You got to choose who you can trust. And I believe that you can trust leaders who align themselves with our Constitution, who are looking out for you, and they have a vision for the whole country to live under the same freedoms we started with. And so, again, proud to know Mayor Cole Stanley. We need more mayors like you all throughout the country. Folks, get behind this man and men like him and women like him as well, because, again, it's time that those who love our freedom, who love our flag, who love our Constitution, we got to stand strong together. Your life depends on it. And so for your children and your children's children as well. So for the great state of Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Mayor Cole Stanley, thank you again for joining me live. I can't wait for the next time.
Man, super appreciate it. Thank you for having me, sir.
Bless you.